Today, I'm going to break down credit card stacking and how you can use it to unlock $100,000 in business funding. You'll see which banks waste your time with months of waiting and tax returns and which ones are soft pull friendly and let you apply online and actually say yes. Stay until the end because I'm giving you the exact 9-card stack strategy that you can use to get this money to grow your business. So first I want to explain what is credit card stacking. Credit card stacking is a funding strategy where you apply for multiple business credit cards, usually within a short period of time. With this strategy, you get minimal inquiries since you're speeding up your approvals across different banks so that you don't raise a red flag. So instead of relying on one bank for a single approval, you stack approvals with different lenders to get approvals that build up to $100,000 in business funding, because all of these credit cards will be 0% interest for 12 months. So comment I'm ready if you're ready to start credit card stacking now so that I know y'all are ready to learn how this works. Okay, comment below. So first, I'm gonna start with the C tier cards. They're decent, but they can be limited. They aren't necessarily terrible, but they do have some drawbacks that hold them back from being top tier, okay? So the first one is gonna be Zion Bank. They only have 0% interest for 6 months. So that's not enough runway for most businesses, that are needing to flip the money into their business. You can get up to $50,000 and apply without opening a business bank account, which helps, and they pull Experian. Then the next one is going to be Key Bank. They require you to have a business checking account. Their limits rarely exceed $25,000, but let's say you only have your Equifax credit report clean. Key Bank is going to be the way that you want to go because they pull Equifax. And then the third one is going to be Huntington Bank. And the reason that I like them is because they specifically work with balance transfers rather than purchases. You're going to get 0% interest when you get their card and transfer one of your other balances over to them. So if you're a person that has high credit card utilization, this is a great card for you to transfer that money and have 0% interest. They pull from Experian. So next is going to be the B tier cards. These are solid picks, especially if you already have a relationship with them, but they come with, a few caveats of their own. Sometimes they can have lower limits, shorter intro offers, or even extra paperwork. So I'm going to start out with Bank of America. They are 0% interest for 9 months, and you can combine limits and unlock up to $35,000 with strong banking relationships. But most people see about $10,000 to $15,000 initially, and they pull from Experian or TransUnion. So who they pull from can be a little tricky, but once you get in good with Bank of America, you can get some pretty decent limits. And I know that myself because I use Bank of America and I have 2 credit cards with them. The first one that I did get approved for is for $17,000, but when I went back and applied for my second card with them, I got approved for $29,000, and I applied for that second card like 90 days later. So I've seen in my own experience that they can really bump up how much you're getting approved for when you go into that second card, and it's still pretty decent on the first one if you need some startup money. And then next is going to be PNC Bank. They are 0% interest for 13 months on a balance transfer and 9 months only if you're purchasing. So this is another good one if you need to do a balance transfer because you get a longer 0% interest, but it's only 9 months for purchasing. Their limits are usually 15 to 25K, and PNC also pulls Experian. Now we're going to go to our A tier. These are our people. They up there, okay? Citizens Bank is a soft pull approval. No bank account required, and approvals are up to $35,000 to $50,000. Historically, soft pulls from Equifax, sometimes they will do a hard pull. A hard pull can creep in here or there, so be on the lookout for that. The second one is First Citizens Bank. It's 0% interest for 12 months. Limits can go up to $50K if you do open up your business checking account first and they pull Equifax. And if you specifically have your credit profile, let's say one of my clients, she went through some credit repair. I helped her through the process of cleaning things up. And we saw that her Experian credit report got cleaned first. She was at a 700 plus or higher. You know, she had an LLC that was 2 years old. So I was like, you know what? Let's run you just for this bank that pulls Experian. We were able to get her jump started with some funding. She ended up getting approved for $20,000. And that was a great start for her to get started with pouring more into the business that she had. So if you do just have one credit profile clean, you can just apply specifically for that one if we know they're not going to pull all three. So let me know if that makes sense in the comments. If you're like, hey, my Experian is the only one that's clean, comment Experian. If it's TransUnion, comment TransUnion. And if it's Equifax, comment Equifax. I want to know which one of your credit reports is clean right now that you want to test out to get some funding. But one of the other A-class ones is going to be Amex. Amex is 0% interest for 12 months, and you have the ability to merge your business and personal limits. Another good thing about Amex is, let's say you want to apply for like 2 or 3 credit cards with them. You can actually just get one hard inquiry and get approved for multiple credit cards. So that is a great perk that most of us really like with Amex. So we can get multiple cards and get up to $100,000 if we, stack them up. So the first card, I might get approved for $20,000. And then the next one, I might get a line of credit for $40,000, and then the next one I might get another $20,000 or $30,000 approval. That is stacking the cards so we get up to $100,000 in business funding just off of one hard inquiry. The less hard inquiries you have on your credit, the better, and you don't have to worry about looking too desperate for credit or that you're shopping around. Another one that I would like to highlight is Truist Bank. They have high approval rates even with new businesses. Just need to have that checking account, to help boost things up. And their limits are around $25K. And they also pull from Equifax. But finally, top tier, the S tier, the upper echelon, the one, the only, the big one, not the little one, is going to be Chase Bank. The gold standard. 0% interest for 12 months on purchases. Initials approvals literally range from $50,000 to $75,000 with a business relationship manager. With combining your LLC limits, you can scale over 100K. They pull from Experian majority of the time that I've seen. Sometimes it can be TransUnion depending on what state you're actually in. So I want to explain to y'all how Chase, you can actually get approved up to $75,000. And I'm going to use my own life as an example. So I opened up a Chase business bank account back in December of last year because I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to test out funding. I want to get myself funded. So back in July, I actually applied for a Chase business credit card directly with a relationship manager. That is just somebody that works in the finance department at the bank, and I've already built a relationship with them to where they were willing to go ahead and process my credit card application for the max that I can get based on that relationship, because they're going to do a manual review of my personal credit, what my business structure looks like, to make sure I can get that maximum amount. So I spoke with them, we set everything up, and then I was able to get approved for $65,000. When you have a relationship with those finance managers or relationship managers at banks, that's how you're able to maximize and ensure, hey, when I apply for 50, I'm gonna get 50. When I apply for 25, I'm gonna get 25. So if you need assistance with building and having that relationship and you want to leverage the ones I already have, then you can just comment the word funding, because I can assist you with getting funding directly with these relationship managers, where they're just going to manually review your credit report, your business structure, and I can assist you with getting that funding. So if you're interested in just booking a consultation on how things work, comment the word funding so that we can get started with our business consultation, and I can tell you how I can help leverage my relationships to get you funded. But I do want to talk about some fine print things before I go. Not all 0% interest credit cards are equal. Some cover purchases, like I went over, some cover balance transfers, and Very few of them cover both. So some will let you do all of these things. You also need to pay attention to the length of the intro period. Some of the 0% interest are 9 months, 12 months, and then you have certain cards that can be up to 18 months. So you want to make sure you know what you're getting into so that you know what the payback time frame is going to be when you're going to start having a payback with interest. I want you to look more for soft pull credit cards that are going to give you an approval, like Citizens and Amex, so you can get pre-approved to make sure you qualify rather than just going straight into the hard pull stuff. Okay. And remember, we have our banks that will allow you to get approved for multiple cards just with one pull, like Amex, and then Navy does that as well. And if a checking account is required, like with some banks it is, please let the checking account season for at least 30 to 90 days before you start applying for things if I've told you, hey, a checking account is required. Lastly, let's talk about credit card stacking. So I'm going to give you one round of credit card stacking of cards that you can apply for to work to get up to $100,000 with 0% interest while getting low inquiries. So let's say in round one, you apply for Chase. That's going to pull an Experian. Then you apply for Citizens. They pull Equifax with a soft pull, and then you do US Bank with TransUnion. And that first round alone, instead of you getting 3 hard inquiries on all 3 bureaus, because you're applying to 3 different banks that specifically pull 1 bureau, you're only going to get 1 per bureau. That is how you ensure you're not being a red flag, applying for a bunch of stuff, getting a bunch of inquiries. Instead, you only get 1 per credit bureau, and you can stack those approvals to go up to $100,000. Once your credit and business is structured tight, you're ready to pretty much run this play. And if you're like, whoa, I don't want to risk messing things up, I need to make sure that I have my funding sequence together, this is a lot of information for me to take in right now, then no worries, because I have you covered. I need to let you know that I launched my Fund Yourself ebook. It includes my 0% interest business credit card database. It comes with all the banks that offer 0% interest up to 12, 9, or 18 months. And you'll know which credit bureaus each bank pulls from, the top banks that are in your state that are offering 0% interest, and you'll see which banks let you open multiple credit products like multiple cards or lines of credit with just 1 hard pull, along with the business structure requirements and more. So just hit the link below in the description for my Fund Yourself ebook if you just want to use that as a reference of everything that I went over today, because everything I went over is going to be in my Fund Yourself ebook and more to make sure that you are doing your credit card stacking right to get to your end result. So whether you want to actually consult with me to do the business funding for you or get my Fund Yourself ebook, I want to make sure that you have a resource to get your business the money that you deserve to take it to the next level. So if you made it to the end of the video and you liked it, comment, I made it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you again for hanging with me here at Rose Credit Repair. And don't forget, like, subscribe, comment below if you have any credit questions. I'm going to be answering them myself in the comments. So you know what to do. Until next time.